Cash flow is important, but focusing on it too early can ruin everything. Everyone tells first-time investors to buy cash-flowing properties first, but the uncomfortable truth is what if that's their biggest mistake? Hi, my name's Anita. I'm a newer real estate investor who just started investing within the last year. I own now over a $5 million real estate portfolio, and literally last year I was working a normal 9-to-5 job. There was nothing really special about me other than the fact that I just watched videos like these to learn alternative ways to buy real estate fast and not follow the old school, boring, traditional methods that require a lot of money to get started. So from internet stranger to internet stranger, and hopefully after this video, we won't be strangers, so make sure to stick around till the end because I'm gonna be dropping some real value here. This is the uncomfortable truth that no one wants to hear, that buying your first rental property just solely on cash flow is not a smart move. So most beginners only obsess over cash flow because they think, oh my gosh, like this is gonna set me free from my job, this is gonna change my life. And most of the time, if a property does cash flow, it's only cash flowing like $200-300 max. And that cash flow stinks too, because let's say the AC unit breaks, you have to call an emergency plumber, a tile in the roof breaks. Literally, that's your cash flow for the month and more, because it's probably gonna cost more than $300 to fix that darn thing. And that's the problem, because when you zoom out, cash flow really doesn't move the needle for an investor. And in fact, just basing a property on cash flow only, kind of risky. And here's why. First of all, great cash flow properties are usually in areas that do not depreciate well. So properties that do not appreciate well are usually in the ghetto. And listen, I've got no problem with the ghetto. I lived in the ghetto for many years where I grew up, and let me tell you, the property, it does not go up in value a lot because the police are constantly there. People do not want to live there. There's a lot of crime. It's just not a great place for people to live. And so those properties take a very long time to go up in any type of considerable value. And one of the main things that you need to be focusing on as a newer investor is actually equity, appreciation of the property. Basically, how much is that property increasing in value every single year? Now, there's a lot of tools you can use to measure this. You can even look on Zillow.com, like where the property last sold. You can actually see how much it's gone up in value over every single year. And you can also use other tools like PropStream. These are online websites that just allow you to see how much the property has increased in value since it was purchased last. But at the end of the day, equity is so important because it gives you the most leverage over the property. And the reason why just going off cash flow is risky is because, as I said, let's say the stove breaks, the refrigerator stops running. These are big costs that are gonna cost you more than the property is cash flowing every month to fix. But with properties that gain a lot of appreciation, these properties can easily go up $20, $30, $40, $60,000 in value per year simply for existing. So these properties, let's say, yeah, they make $100, $200 a month cash flow, but they're gaining $40,000+ a year just by being in a nice area that people want to live. So as the population grows, as inflation increases, your dollar value increases with that property. So for example, here in South Florida, a property that used to cost $100,000 10 years ago now costs $800,000, and simply just by existing, literally by doing nothing else. I'm not talking about the property getting renovated. I'm not talking about the property really going up in demand that much at all, other than the fact that it just sat there. And the reason that this gives you so much leverage is because you can do things in the future like open a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, so you can actually borrow against the property and buy another property. And you can also do this with something called a cash out refinance. So let's say the property was worth $100,000 5 years ago, and now it's worth $500,000. You can actually take $400,000 out of the property and cash out refinance and then purchase another property with that money. And the most beautiful thing is that even if the property was breaking even the whole time, like let's say it wasn't even cash flowing you at all, you still made $400,000 in 5 years. Cool, huh? And the beautiful thing is that there's tax write-offs for all of this stuff when it comes to real estate. And that, internet friend, is why I do not focus on cash flow only. Because managing a property that only nets you a few $100 a month takes the same amount of time, energy, and mental headache that a property that's gaining a lot of equity does. Like, tenants are still gonna call, repairs are still gonna happen, and taxes and all sorts of costs are still gonna be rising. And the thing is that especially early on, your personal income matters way more than your investment income. And that's what they're gonna be going off of for your first deals anyway. And so really, like, unless you're a more experienced investor and you've got a few properties under your belt, cash flow is not gonna change your life. But what is equity. Because equity in a good property, you can literally gain 40, 50K a year off that, whereas one property is gonna get you, what, like, 3,000 extra bucks a year? That's definitely not gonna set somebody free from their job. Now, of course, if you've got 10 properties all bringing you 3,000 bucks a year, okay, now that's gonna make a big difference, but it's not enough to move the needle. And by the way, if you want more real conversations like this about how real estate actually works from an investor who's here in the trenches with you, make sure to subscribe to this channel and give it a big thumbs up, just because I'm sharing like real, raw, and true information with you. Unfortunately, when I first started my journey, there was a lot of really smart people online, definitely not knocking anybody, but there was a lot of people that would say things like, okay, well, you just need to have a lot of money to invest. They would be spouting out a lot of like old methods, like the BRRRR method, like buy, rent, refinance, repeat. But the problem is you cannot buy that many properties unless you're starting out with a lot of money. And I certainly did not start with any of that. So I had to get like super, super creative on purchasing real estate. And by the way, if you want to learn more about creative ways to purchase real estate and aggressively scale your portfolio, make sure to click that link down below. I have a little community here I'm building of other amazing like-minded people like yourself, where we all grow together, and I'm sharing all of my tips and tricks along the way and all of my mistakes also, so that you don't also make them, because real estate mistakes can be quite costly. And if you want to learn more about scaling your real estate portfolio fast, make sure to click on this video here, as I share all of the best sauce in real estate on this video. Make sure to click it, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.